Hey, what's up, guys? So every week I'm pummeled with a ridiculous amount of messages about commentating, and people want to know, what is required to become a commentator. What kind of hardware are you going to need? What kind of software are you going to need? And advice to what to talk about, or what to do if you're a new commentator. So this video is going to break down for all the people who have decided that commentating is something that they would like to do. What you're going to need and what you should do. I'm going to show you guys the equipment that I use for commentating. I'm going to break down the price, and I'm going to tell you guys, how much money you're going to need to invest if you'd really like to do this. It's not cheap, and please do not go into this expecting to get some sort of huge money cash reward from Major League Gaming or Machinima or anything like that. If you're going into this thinking that money is the end result, probably isn't the smartest idea, because it's not something that everybody gets in the end, and in the end you might end up spending a lot more money than you're ever going to get out of it. So I'm just going to show you guys everything that I got, and like I said, break down the prices and whatnot. So here we go. Alright, I just lined everything up on my pool table. I'm just going to show you guys everything that you're going to need. The number one thing that's probably going to seem obvious to a lot of you guys, but I definitely do get messages about, people who want to start commentating and they don't even know where to start. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need to choose what console you're playing on, or what platform you're playing on. Now, if you're playing on an Xbox 360 or a PS3, this setup is going to work for you. If you're playing on the PC, you have to use some sort of software that will capture your screen, and that's a completely different route. That's a little bit easier. This is a lot more. This is going to cost a lot more if you're doing this on a console, and you're going to need to. You're actually going to go out and buy stuff. So that's the first thing you're going to need. The second thing you're going to need, and this might seem like obvious, a good computer or laptop. Now, I'm not saying that you guys just need a laptop. I'm saying you need a good one, all right? It doesn't need to be a laptop, but it's going to need to be close in proximity to where you're actually playing your games. Now, of course, you can get really, really long wires stretching back and forth from your desktop and your Xbox if you really want to, but it's easiest if you have a laptop that's portable. Or a computer that's portable. Anything's portable if it's a laptop. So the laptop that I have, the specs that you're probably going to need is you're going to need a decent video card. I don't know what the video card or the exact specs. I'm not a computer person, but I know that it is HD. You're going to need at least 200 gigabytes of memory. I would recommend above 200 gigabytes if you can. Anything less than that, you're not really going to have that much space in your hard drive to capture video. Other than that, you're just going to need a decent processor. I mean, if you're really into computers, you'll know what to get. 4 gigs of RAM works just fine for me, so I mean that works pretty well. And I would recommend, if you're running on, I would recommend that you're running on a good Mac system, or at least Windows Vista or 7. All right. The next thing is the capture card. Now, this is the actual piece of hardware that's used to capture video. This is called a Hauppage HD PVR, and this is for people who would like to capture high-definition video via component cables from their Xbox or PS3. So, what this thing is, it's a, like I said, a Hauppage HD PVR. I don't know if you guys can see that. And what you're going to do, you're not going to use any of these front cables. What you're going to be looking at is back here. Now, if you're going to be doing this, you can't be playing HDMI. Now, this is the easiest thing to do. This is a piece of hardware that's outside of your computer. But if you do capture with, or if you do play on Xbox or PS3 using HDMI, you're actually going to need to buy a completely different capture card, and you're not going to be able to use a laptop to do it. You're going to need to be using a desktop. I will put a link in the description to buying this, as well as what you're going to need if you want to capture using HDMI. It's actually called a Blackmagic Intensity Pro. It's what C-Nanners and Mr. Sneaky Mode, if you guys remember him, Sneaky Mode, he used to commentate. That's what they use. If you are using an Xbox 360 arcade, you want to make sure that you have component cables if you decide to go with the Hauppage HD PVR. That's the red, blue, and green wires, or component cables. And the last necessity is a microphone. Now, it doesn't need to be a great microphone. I use a standard rock band mic. You might want to use a PC headset, or if you have a good gaming headset that works with the computer, you can use that as well. What I recently bought, or what I'm about to buy, is the blue Snowball microphone. It's like a more or less professional microphone, and costs around $80, but I think it's worth it if you want really, really high quality video. Then again, it's all about how much money you have to spend, and if you have enough money to spend it. I forgot. I got to talk about one more thing. I'm talking about stuff. All this stuff here that I'm showing you guys is for the people who are really serious and want to start doing this. But if you just like to start commentating for fun, if you just think that this is something you'd like to do, maybe once a week, once every other week, just something that you could do extra, I guess, not really something you want to focus on, you can also purchase a standard definition capture card. There's a couple out there. There's the Easy Cap. I'll leave a link in the description if you'd like to buy that. There's also the most popular capture card probably ever, and that is the Dazzle DVC 100. There's also a Dazzle DVC 170, I believe. And those run about $60 to $100, a little bit cheaper, but you play with standard definition, not component cables. So the last thing, probably not a necessity. If you are really serious into gaming and you don't have one of these already, probably going to want to invest in a gaming headset. These are, well, certain gaming headsets work for both PC and console. I use the ASTRO 840s. I have a couple sets here. I actually broke another one that I threw out. I've gone through probably about 15 of these total in the past 3 years, playing on and off for Major League Gaming and game battles. There's some less expensive ones. This is a Turtle Beach. This actually is like being held together with like tape. And depending on what you can afford, these will run you. Actually, these are really old school. I don't know if you can even buy these anymore. These are X3s. These are the older version of the Astros. I personally like these more. I don't know if you can probably find these on eBay, but they actually changed the audio system, which is really annoying. And these are the new ones that I have. These will run you about $250. This will probably get you. This will probably be like $150 to $200 if you can find it on eBay. The newer Turtle Beaches are going to cost around $150 to $250, I believe. And you can also look for a Triton AX720. I think the only example of somebody who I know who likes that, Hutch uses them and he likes that. So to each his own. These actually have the swivel ear cups, which I really like. That's why I stick to these. Alright guys, so that's pretty much all you're going to need if you definitely want to. That's all the hardware you're going to need. The last thing I guess I should show you guys, and I'm not going to go into detail about how you can acquire it. One second. But there is a program that one, you're going to need to install discs and drivers for the Hauppage HD PVR or whatever capture card you purchase, but that will all come with the capture card. But you're going to need one piece of program that is extremely expensive if you decide to acquire it legitimately. I'm not going to go through how you can acquire it, but there is a program called Sony Vegas, and that's what I use to edit and capture. Or no, I don't use that to capture, but that's what I use to edit, render, and process all my videos on, or for YouTube. So if you would like to look into how to buy that or how to acquire that, just search it on YouTube, how to get Sony Vegas, and you'll find plenty of videos. Alright, so that's everything that you're going to need if you want to become a commentator on YouTube. Links to everything that I showed you guys and the prices for each thing will be in the description or the bottom bar down there. And I don't know, if I were to give some general tips from once you have all this equipment and you decide that you're going to start commentating now, some general tips for your commentaries is try to plan out what you want to talk about before your commentary. Don't just go into it saying like, I'm just going to talk about whatever I feel like, because that works for a lot of people, but for a new commentator it can be kind of awkward and not that fun to listen to. Also, I'd recommend talking about your gameplay as much as possible in the beginning, and then you can branch out to your personality and some random stuff that you'd like to talk about. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give this video a like if it was helpful, and I'll see you guys later.